The world of artificial intelligence, I mean, it's just moving so incredibly fast. Seems like every week there's something new, doesn't it?
It really does. A
Oh,
new capability, a new benchmark passed.
yeah, and it brings up this really big question that I think is on a lot of people's minds. How much longer do humans actually need to be in the loop,
Hmm.
you know, overseeing what AI produces?
Right. Are we looking decades down the line or
Sure.
something much closer?
Exactly. And that's what this deep dive is all about. We're going to dig into some, well, frankly, surprising research on this.
Yeah, and the fascinating part is we're kind of moving past just guessing now. What we want to do today is give you a shortcut, really.
A shortcut.
Yeah, a shortcut to understanding what's happening right at the cutting edge of AI oversight. We're pulling out the key bits from our source material, which is called AI Oversight, a near future reality.
Okay.
So the goal is to give you, the listener, a really clear picture of what's going on and what seems to be coming down the pike, and maybe a lot sooner than you'd think.
All right, so let's set the scene. When a person, a human, looks over something an AI made, could be anything, a legal document, maybe a medical scan analysis, financial stuff, what are they actually doing in their head?
Well, according to the research we're looking at, it boils down mostly to two main things.
Okay.
They're using their working memory, holding facts in mind to check for errors, and they're using their reasoning skills to make a judgment call on the overall quality, the accuracy.
So memory and reasoning, that's the core.
That seems to be the core, yeah.
But what about intuition? We always hear that's the human edge, that gut feeling. What does the research say about that?
Ah, yeah, intuition. This is where it gets really interesting. The analysis we read suggests that what we call intuition, it might not be this mystical thing.
About magic.
Probably not magic, no. It suggests it's actually a form of very, very complex logical reasoning. It just happens so fast, often unconsciously, that it feels like a spontaneous insight.
Mm. Like pattern matching on overdrive.
Exactly, like super fast subconscious logical steps. So if you put it all together, human oversight is basically memory, critical thinking, and this rapid, complex pattern recognition we label intuition, even when it feels like just a gut feeling.
Okay, that really reframes how you think about human judgment, doesn't it?
It does.
So those are the pieces, memory, reasoning, this reconceptualized intuition. How do the current AI systems stack up? Let's start with memory.
Well, memory, I mean, that's almost not even a contest anymore, is it?
How so?
AIs can already access and process just unbelievable amounts of data, way, way beyond any single human brain.
Mm.
And with the kind of authoritative data they can be trained on, their ability to recall info can be just as reliable, maybe even more reliable than ours.
So memory isn't the bottleneck. It's not the key difference anymore.
Not really, no. It's rapidly stopping being the crucial differentiator for oversight work.
Okay, so if memory is kind of off the table as the main human advantage, then the real difference, the thing that keeps humans in the loop right now, must be that critical thinking, that ability to really judge the quality. That's the frontier.
That's exactly right. And, that raises a really important point because, sure, maybe many AIs today don't quite match top-tier human critical thinking across the board,
Right.
but that gap, it's closing, like, incredibly fast. The research indicates that by the end of this year, 2025, we could very well see the top, say, half dozen AI models hitting IQ equivalents of 130 or even higher.
Whoa, hang on. Genius level IQs for AI. By the end of this year, that sounds huge.
Yeah.
How do they even measure an AI's IQ?
Yeah, it's a good question, and the source does get into it. These aren't just numbers plucked out of thin air. They're
Okay.
based on how the AIs perform on a whole battery of standardized cognitive tests. Think complex problem-solving reasoning challenges, the kind of stuff you find in human IQ tests.
So it's about performance on tasks that require reasoning, learning, problem solving.
Exactly. Synthesizing information, tackling novel problems, even generating creative approaches. Performance that, if you saw it in a human, you'd say, okay, that person's in the genius range.
Wow. Okay. That is a massive leap. And I guess while some really specialized jobs might need human geniuses doing the oversight,
Right, like cutting-edge scientific research or something.
most industries don't operate at that level day to day, do they? So this kind of AI capability jump could have a huge impact pretty much everywhere,
Yeah.
even in sectors we don't think of as high tech.
Absolutely. And it's not just the raw cognitive stuff either. There's another big argument you always hear for keeping humans involved,
Which is,
the non-cognitive abilities, empathy, emotional intelligence, understanding social nuance, things that have always felt uniquely human.
right. The idea that a machine can't really get emotions or relate to people. But the research is challenging that too, isn't it?
It is, kind of surprisingly. Recent studies mentioned in the source material show something pretty remarkable. Now, AIs can't feel emotions, obviously. They don't have consciousness like we do.
Okay, that's important.
Very. But they can apparently understand emotions, or at least model them and respond appropriately, often better than many humans do.
Better. Yeah.
By processing just immense amounts of data on human interactions, spotting patterns in language, tone, context, they can identify emotional states with scary accuracy sometimes,
Mm.
and then generate responses that simulate empathy very effectively.
Simulate empathy.
Yeah. So effectively, in fact, that some studies found people rated AI interactions as showing more consistent empathy than interactions with other humans.
That's wild.
It is a bit wild. If you've ever, say, used one of those AI companion apps like Replica is known for, they're literally designed for empathetic chat. You get a sense of how convincing it can be.
So an AI could be perceived as more empathetic or at least more consistently empathetic than a person.
The data suggests it's possible, yeah.
That really turns a lot of assumptions on their head, doesn't it? About what makes human oversight special.
It definitely challenges those assumptions.
Okay, so let's try and pull these threads together. We've got AI with potentially superior memory. We've got AI rapidly approaching genius-level critical thinking. And we have AI showing this unexpected skill in, well, understanding and simulating human emotion.
Right.
So what does the source material say this all means, practically? For humans doing oversight work, why do we
Wow.
still hear people saying, oh, AI overseeing AI is decades away?
Well, the big takeaway, the headline finding from this analysis is pretty stark.
Lay it on us.
By the end of 2026, so not decades, but like next year, the data strongly suggests AI should be fully capable of overseeing the vast majority of work, at least in industries where AI is already starting to replace human tasks.
The vast majority of work. By the end of 2026.
That's what the projections based on current trajectory indicate. And this is the kicker. They'll likely do that oversight with significantly greater accuracy and, well, intelligence than the average human overseer could. Wow.
The changes these advancements are driving seem to be happening much, much faster than most people are currently planning for.
Okay, let's just recap that core idea because it's huge. We're moving, and moving fast, towards a future where AIs can check the work of other AIs across most industries.
And potentially do it better, more accurately, more intelligently than humans.
And the timeline is startlingly short.
Yeah.
Top AI models hitting that genius-level IQ, 130 plus beta, by end of this year, 2025.
Yep.
And then AI being capable of taking over most oversight tasks by the end of 2026.
That's the projection. It's a massive shift in how we think about work, about quality control, about expertise itself.
So let's leave our listeners with this thought. If AIs might soon be objectively better overseers than humans in many, many areas.
And they understand our emotions possibly better than we understand each other sometimes.
Yeah, all right. What does that actually mean for the role of humans in this emerging AI-driven world? How fast do our societies, our education systems, our economies need to adapt? And maybe even deeper, what does it mean for how we see ourselves, our own value when so much judgment and oversight gets handled by machines? It's a lot to think about. What really stands out to you after digging into this?